Welcome into STB Sports Take, simply the best sports podcast. I'm your host, Sean Bingham. We are on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, everywhere you get your podcasts. We are there. Thank you for joining us. Please hit that subscribe button. Follow us on TikTok, Instagram, all the good stuff. Help us spread the good word of sports. Help us grow the podcast. We're starting immediately with Game 5 of the NBA Finals, a pivotal Game 5, Series 2-2. Of course, the Thunder protect that home court advantage that they were able to snatch back in Game 4. And they win 120-109 to take major control of this series, up 3-2 with Game 6 on Thursday back in Indiana. So, a couple of things here. After the Pacers went up 2-1, I said a couple of things before these last two games. One, I said I'm still taking the Thunder to win this series, and I'm taking them in 6 games. 2, I said that Mark Daigneault was overthinking things by not starting Isaiah Hartenstein and letting him play his 21-plus minutes per game. Well, guess what? Isaiah Hartenstein started the last 2 games, Games 4 and 5. He played 21-plus minutes in Games 4 and 5, and the Thunder won Games 4 and 5. Now, did he have these crazy stat lines? Was he scoring 20 points and grabbing 15 rebounds and blocking 10 shots? No, he wasn't, but he played solid, and don't underestimate the power of continuity. And don't overthink things. When something's working, just simply pour more gasoline on it to make that fire grow even bigger. That's what Mark Daigneault went back to. That's what the Thunder went back to, and it's working for them. They win Games 4 and 5 both to take control of the series, likely to now win in 6 games. Now, am I saying that Isaiah Hartenstein should be the MVP of the series? No, absolutely not. But again, never underestimate the power of continuity. When he's on the floor, it just helps the other guys do their thing more efficiently. He's a great role player. He needs to be playing his 20-plus minutes per game. He needs to be in the starting lineup, and I'm sure you'll see that happen again in Game 6, since it clearly worked in Games 4 and 5, as I said it would. The other thing is, so many people bailed on the Thunder after they lost Game 3, but not me. I said that the Thunder would win this in 6, and I think that's exactly what's going to happen. The MVP of Game 5 was, of course, Jalen Williams. Had a monster game, 40 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists. He's now averaging 26 points per game in this finals to go with 5.5 rebounds and 4 assists. A crazy stat here, Jalen Williams joins these star players as the only guys in NBA history to score 25 points in 3 straight finals games before the age of 25. So obviously you have to get to the finals before age 25, which is hard enough to do. But in chronological order, Shaquille O'Neal, Dwayne Wade, Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, and now Jalen Williams. That's 4 Hall of Famers and Jalen Williams, who's well on his way to a Hall of Fame career as well. Young dude. I've said it before and I'll say it again. This Thunder team is scary. A young head coach who's only learning and growing and getting better, and the youngest roster in the NBA that is only learning and growing and getting better. They will win these finals, and they will open up next season as the favorites to repeat in the NBA Finals next year. A dynasty waiting to happen, all thanks to Sam Presti and his NBA GM absolute wizardry to put this roster together, even after they lose Russell Westbrook, they lose Kevin Durant, they lose Paul George, they lose James Harden. And he just does it again in small market Oklahoma City. I cannot say enough about Sam Presti. He is the MVP of OKC. The NBA Finals MVP, however, is of course Shea Gilders-Alexander. He's the MVP of the league. He's the MVP of the finals. We know Shea can score. Shea has accomplished something this postseason that tells me 2 things. 1, just how special of a year he's having, leading the team to 68 wins, tops in the NBA, leading the league in scoring, winning the league MVP, leading his team into the finals, and likely now about to win the finals and finals MVP. But check this out. He's one of only a handful of players in NBA history to reach 3,000 points combined between the regular season and the postseason. And that leads me to the second thing that it tells me about this. Just how insanely great Michael Jordan is. Michael Jordan has done this 10 times. Next up, Wilt Chamberlain 5 times. Next up, nobody else who's done it more than once. MJ 10 times. Wilt Chamberlain 5 times. Shea joins the short list. Others on the list, again in reverse chronological order. Luka, Harden, Durant, Kobe, Shaq. And then you get into the old guys. Bob McAdoo, Kareem, Rick Barry, Elgin Baylor. That's the list. So again, Michael Jordan, 10 times scored 3,000 points between the regular season and the postseason combined. There's only a handful of other guys that have ever done it, period. and only one has ever done it more than once besides Michael Jordan, and it was Wilt Chamberlain who did it 5 times. This just shows how crazy dominant Michael Jordan was. It's insane, and it does show just how special of a season Shea Gilders-Alexander is having. But the other thing we got to talk about with SGA is just how underrated his defense is. He had 4 blocks and 2 steals last night. He leads these NBA finals in blocked shots. Yes, you heard me correctly. SGA leads the NBA finals, not only in points, but in blocked shots. He's second in steals behind only Caruso, second in assists behind only Tyrese Halliburton. That is not bad for a guy who's simply a free throw merchant. SGA is having an all-time season, and if he can go out and clinch Game 6 and win this NBA Finals and win Finals MVP with another stellar performance, it will go down as one of the great individual seasons of all time. Not necessarily the greatest or even in the top 5, but certainly among that upper echelon. Lead the league in scoring, win the MVP of the regular season, have the best record in the NBA, win the NBA Finals, win the Finals MVP, lead the Finals in scoring and in blocks, second in steals, second in assists. It's an insane stat line that he's having across the board and an insane season. My hat goes off to SGA. You are much more than just a free throw merchant, my friend. And on top of that, did you see this? He signed 429 autographs before Game 2. I don't know how your hand puts up with that, especially before an NBA Finals game. He signed 429 autographs before Game 2. Somebody filmed it and recounted them all up. 429. That is freaking cool. All right, we got to shift over to Tyrese Halliburton and the Indiana Pacers. He had a horrendous game last night. 0 of 6 shooting, just 4 points. I mean, 0 of 6 in the NBA Finals, just 4 points when you're the star player. Not great. Now, that being said, he clearly has a calf strain that's hindering him, bothering him, keeping him from doing what he does best. But still, 0 of 6 shooting, 4 points, not good. And let's be honest, outside of the heroic Game 1 near buzzer beater to steal Game 1 with 0.3 seconds left, he's had a very mediocre series at best, averaging 15, 7, and 6. That's fewer points and fewer assists than his season average, fewer points and fewer assists than the rest of the playoffs. So Tyrese has gotten a ton of love. He's grown on me. I like the dude. He's been just insanely clutch these playoffs. But in these NBA Finals, he's been pretty average. That's just the truth. Now, you can blame it on the calf, and I'm sure that's playing a huge part in it. What you can't do, though, is blame last night's Game 5 loss on the calf strain, because what happened is TJ McConnell stepped in and absolutely balled out. He basically put up the stat line that Tyrese typically puts up, and Tyrese put up a typical TJ McConnell stat line, 6 points. McConnell stepped in and put up 18 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals. In 22 minutes off the bench was a +4 in the box score plus-minus. So don't blame the calf strain for the loss, because McConnell stepped in and balled out. The Thunder are just deeper and better than the Indiana Pacers. Mark Daigneault figured it out. The team has figured it out. It's not done yet. In the words of Kobe Bryant, job ain't done yet, job ain't finished. But they're right there on the precipice. I think they closed it out in Game 6. And the Pacers really are just 1 star away from being like a true championship contender. I think they overachieved to even get to these finals. I don't think you'll see them come back to the finals unless they add a key piece to help out Tyrese Halliburton, Pascal Siakam, and some of that core unit. Another big part of last night's win for the Thunder was the amount of turnovers they forced. 23 Indiana Pacer turnovers. Now, you guys, turnovers are an easy stat to point to and say, oh, look how bad we played, if you're the Pacers, right? Look how bad we played. Kind of like Sabalenka did with Coco Gauff in the French Open final, where she basically said, Coco Gauff didn't win it, I lost it. Easy to say that, but with turnovers in the NBA, this is what the Thunder do. They force turnovers. They are a fantastic defensive team. This is what they do. It's a strength of theirs. It's not necessarily a flaw of the Pacers. It's a strength of the Oklahoma City Thunder. They led the league in forced turnovers all season long. They lead the league in forced turnovers, especially at home, forcing 18.5 turnovers per game at home. Last night, 23, so it was above average, but that is what they do. It's a strength of theirs. So yeah, Indiana needs to try and handle the ball a little bit better, take better care of the ball. But in the end, it's going to be hard when it's a strength of your opponent to take the ball from you and force turnovers. Alex Caruso is an absolute beast defensively. Jalen Williams is a beast defensively. Lou Dort is a beast defensively. SGA is a beast defensively. He led the league in defensive win shares this season. He leads these NBA finals in block shots. He's second in these NBA finals in steals. This is a team that can just flat out defend. Chet Holmgren can defend the rim. He can grab rebounds. He can alter shots. This is just a strong defensive team, period. They're going to force turnovers. So we'll see if Indiana can somehow protect their home court and force a Game 7 by winning Game 6 on Thursday. I don't think that they will. I think the Thunder will close it out in 6, but we will see. They do have that championship pedigree. They do have Rick Carlisle. They do have Pascal Siakam. If Halliburton can get a little bit healthier, maybe they can do it. But if Halliburton can't be 100%, are you really expecting TJ McConnell to come out and get 18 again? Probably not. So I think they're going to absolutely need Halliburton to somehow heal up over the next couple of days, which is probably a big ask, but we'll see. One thing I got to say, though, is that basketball in Indiana is on fire right now. The Pacers are in the finals, and the Indiana Fever, do we need to say anything more about that? Caitlin Clark. The WNBA is praising the heavens now that Caitlin Clark is back in the lineup for the Indiana Fever, as they saw ratings drop by a staggering 55% while she was out with injury. 55%. Now she comes back and balls out, drops 32 points, beats the best team in the league, the previously undefeated 9-0 Liberty, and the Fever beat them by 14 points, and she also had 8 rebounds and 9 assists to go with it. I mean, Caitlin Clark is the golden goose. I've said before that financially speaking, she is more valuable to the WNBA than all of the other players combined. And this stat actually shows that that's true. 55% drop when she's out. That means 45% for everybody else and 55% for her. Literally, she is more valuable than the rest of the WNBA combined. I mean, you can't state it enough, the importance that she has. They need to protect her at all costs. Do not let her get hurt. Give her a little bit of favorable calls if you have to. Do not let her get hurt, though, because she is bringing in massive numbers, and it does give all the other players a chance to shine and be seen and be recognized, and the WNBA is growing. But do not kill the golden goose, Caitlin Clark. Funny story from the NBA Finals. In Game 4, Stephen A. Smith was caught playing solitaire on his phone during the game. Now, he, of course, tweeted, yeah, that's me. You know, of course, I can multitask, especially during timeouts. And then he got community noted on Twitter or on X. It was not during a timeout. It was during gameplay. And even if it was during a timeout, do you really not have anything better to do than play solitaire on your phone? Aren't you sitting there next to colleagues to analyze the game, discuss the game, talk about the game? Are you not sitting next to celebrities? Are you doing other things? Is there nothing else you can do? You're getting paid tens of millions of dollars to analyze the game. You are courtside, and you're just playing solitaire on your phone. This is wild stuff. I don't think it's that big of a deal. I'm not going to hammer the guy for it, but if nothing else, it's pretty weird and really funny. I guess that shows when you sit courtside for more than a decade, it just kind of loses a little bit of its luster, and you just get bored enough that during the NBA Finals courtside, you have time to play solitaire on your phone. I can tell you this, it's not going to happen again, because he got lit up for it online. Here's a couple of the tweets, by the way. People just going after him, thinking it's really funny. Again, I don't think it's a big deal. It's just, again, like I said, kind of funny, kind of weird, if nothing else. But here's where he got community noted. So just kind of funny. Stephen A. Smith caught playing solitaire in the middle of the NBA Finals. Wild stuff. Going back now real quick to SGA's fantastic scoring performance this season and postseason, being one of only a handful of players to have 3,000 points in the postseason and regular season combined. Jordan did it 10 times. Well, here's a stat I forgot to mention. Michael Jordan has 8 50-point games in the playoffs. By far the most all time. Next is Wilt Chamberlain, and only a handful of guys have ever done it more than once. This is another just crazy MJ stat showing how dominant he was. Look at this list. He's more than double second place, and only 8 guys ever have even been able to do it twice. He did it 8 times. Crazy, crazy stat. Here's another one. 2 of the top 8 all-time finals points per game averages, including the best all-time, belong to Michael Jordan. 41 points a game against the Suns in 93. And then in 92, he averaged 36.8, or 35.8 rather, I believe. Yeah, 35.8 against the Blazers in 92. SGA averaging over 32 a game in these finals. Wouldn't crack the top 10, but he's having an amazing season. All right, we got to talk real quick about Ashton Hall racing speed, losing to him 4 times, having a real difficult time taking that L. Eventually did come around, admitted the L online and all that good stuff, but this is 2 guys with 2 big egos and 2 big social media followings, known for their speed. Ashton Hall is nearly 10 years older than Speed, and he weighs about 50 pounds more. So he was at a major disadvantage right from the start. I mean, he's not training for sprinting. He's training to be a social media influencer. And so he's big, bulky dude, not training to be a sprinter. And when you get to be about 30 years old, which is what he is, and Speed's only 20, you're at a major disadvantage there too. So Ashton Hall, super fast. Speed, super fast. Kind of funny to see these guys go at it and have it make such big news. But what's even funnier is that now Tyreek Hill wants in on the action. Tyreek Hill has been calling out Noah Lyles for a while now. Now, here's the thing. Noah Lyles would absolutely beat Tyreek Hill in the 100 meters. I mean, 10.15 is really, really good for Tyreek Hill, but that's not even going to get you into the finals in the Olympics. Noah Lyles is like a 9.7 type of guy. So Noah Lyles would win this race for sure. But Tyreek Hill also is carrying around a bunch of extra muscle for football that Noah Lyles isn't. Similar to Ashton Hall and Speed, if he were to trim down, I think Tyreek Hill actually would have a chance to be in the Olympics. I mean, imagine if Tyreek Hill lost 20 pounds of that muscle and trained strictly for sprinting as opposed to playing football. Could he be an Olympic track and field athlete? I actually think he could. Could he beat Noah Lyles if he trimmed down 20 pounds of muscle and trained just for sprinting? It's possible. It's possible. But since Speed beat Ashton Hall in a race, now all of a sudden all the hype is around those guys for their speed. So Cheetah has left Noah Lyles, and now he's focused on Speed. It's all just a big clout grab, clout chasing, which I don't blame him. It's kind of fun. It's entertaining. I would love to see Tyreek and Speed race because I kind of want to see just how fast Speed and Ashton Hall really are, because we know how fast Noah Lyles is. We know how fast Tyreek Hill is because we see them against premier athletes in sports in HD all the time. This one, we just saw 2 guys on grass with an iPhone racing, and we don't really know. We can tell they're fast. I know they'd beat me, but are they as fast as Tyreek Hill? It'd be interesting to see. So I hope that Speed and Tyreek get together. Tyreek says, we're both in Miami. Let's do this. I would love to see it. So Speed, if you're watching this, go race Tyreek. All right, you guys, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you for joining us on STB Sports Take. Please, again, follow us on YouTube and Spotify and Apple Podcasts, TikTok, Instagram, all the good stuff. I am out. Peace.